Worshipful Cralencia, thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. We have one past Grand Lodge officer with us tonight from another jurisdiction, and it is my pleasure to introduce Most Worshipful Antonio E. Ruiz, past Grand Master of Gran Logia Occidental de Mexico of the state of Jalisco. Welcome, Most Worshipful.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Grand Lodge officers for this Masonic year. For those unmuted, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. From Elk Grove, a past master of Elk Grove Lodge number 173, the Assistant Grand Tyler, the Worshipful Scotty J. Christian. From Sebastopol, a member of Oakland Durant Rockridge Lodge number 188, the Assistant Grand Organist, the Worshipful Jonathan S. Davis. From Elk Grove, a past master of Elk Grove Lodge number 173, the Junior Grand Steward, the Worshipful Thomas L. Pryor Jr. From Oakland, a past master of Oakland Durant Rockridge Lodge number 188, the Junior Grand Deacon, the Worshipful David A. Forsyth. From Lake Forest, the past master of San Fernando Lodge number 343, the Grand Sword Bearer, the Worshipful Alberto L. Casanova Jr. From Glendora, the past master of San Marino Lodge number 408, the Grand Standard Bearer, the Worshipful Paul B. Bazarkanian. From Vista, a past master of Irvine Valley Lodge number 671, the Grand Marshal, the Worshipful Mark E. Pressey. From Poway, a past master of San Diego Lodge number 35, the Grand Orator, the Worshipful Michael D. Thibodeau. From Simi Valley, a past master of Simi Valley Lodge number 806, the Assistant Grand Lecturer of Division 5, the Worshipful Robert G. Bisson III and his wife Cindy. From San Francisco, a past master of Phoenix Lodge number 144, the Grand Chaplain, the Very Reverend Mark J. McNee. From Valley Springs, a past master of Riverside Lodge number 635, the Grand Lecturer, the Very Worshipful Ricky L. Lawler. From San Rafael, a past master of Acalanes Fellowship Lodge number 480, the Grand Secretary, the Very Worshipful Alan L. Cassidy. From Nevada City, a past master of Nevada Lodge number 13, the Junior Grand Warden, the Right Worshipful G. Sean Metroka. From Sonoma, a past master of Mosaic Lodge number 218, the Deputy Grand Master, the Right Worshipful Jeffrey M. Wilkins and his wife Liz. Our Grand Master comes from Newberry Park, a past master of Conejo Valley Lodge number 807, and it is my honor to introduce his wife, Barbara. Let's all welcome them. It is with great pleasure and honor to present our Grand Master. Worshipful Brother Arthur Harold Weiss was raised a Master Mason in Conejo Valley Lodge number 807 in Thousand Oaks on January 28, 1986. He served as Master of the Lodge in 1991 and 2003 and was presented the Hiram Award in 1997 for his distinguished service to the Lodge. Brother Weiss served the Grand Lodge as an inspector, as Grand Marshal, and as Grand Chaplain. He served on the Leadership Development Committee, was the founding member of his Public Schools Advisory Council, and has served on all 5 constitutional boards, including 12 years on the California Masonic Foundation, 8 of them as president and chairman of the board. In addition, Brother Weiss is active in the concordant independent bodies, including the Southern California Past Masters Association, the Los Angeles York Rite Bodies, Allied Masonic Degrees, Knight Masons, the Red Cross of Constantine, and the Rosicrucians, He is the 32nd degree Knight Commander of the Court of Honor in the Scottish Rite Valley of Los Angeles, a member of Al Malika Shriners, High 12, and the National Sojourners. Brother Weiss is a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, served as worthy patron of the Grand Chapter of California, and is General Grand Chapter Committee member. Brother Weiss received a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering in 1973 from Purdue University. He enjoyed a 42-year career in aerospace and defense at Rocketdyne, where he was part of the Space Shuttle main engine development team, led development of the RS-68 booster engine flying on the Delta IV, and the propulsion for missiles currently deployed by the U.S. He was Executive Director of Missile Defense and of Advanced Programs prior to his retirement in 2015. He continues to consult and started an executive consulting firm. Art and his wife, Barbara, live in Newberry Park and have one married daughter. Brethren, ladies and guests, it is my honor to present the 155th Grand Master of Masons in California, Most Worshipful Arthur H. Weiss.
Thank you, Worshipful. Worshipful and GoCo. Mayor Hadley, who I think had to leave us a few moments ago. Our past Grand Master that has joined us this evening. Grand Lodge officers, members of Beach Cities Lodge, brethren and friends. It has truly been an honor to install the officers of your lodge into their respective offices. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I wish you an outstanding year and nothing but success as you keep Masonry moving forward in the South Bay area. Worshipful Joseph, it was certainly a pleasure to install you as Master this evening. Under your leadership, I expect that Beach Cities will continue its role as a leadership lodge in your community. Worshipful Macario, it was an honor to work with you as Master of Ceremonies. And Worshipful Daniel, a pleasure to work with you as installing chaplain. And Worshipful Charles, thank you for formally introducing me once again. And thank you, Grand Lodge officers, for being here and supporting this lodge. Brethren, we have entered upon a new year and continue to be in circumstances we could not have imagined. The COVID virus continues to plague our communities. Our state continues to keep us isolated. Fortunately, the vaccines are now being distributed, and it is only a matter of time before we all have the opportunity to be inoculated. I look forward to the time that the government will begin to ease restrictions on social gatherings to make sure we are ready for that happy day when I am able to authorize our reopening. I am developing the steps and guidelines necessary to conduct in-person gatherings for meetings and events in the future. This plan will be reviewed by the Executive Committee later this month. To acknowledge the tremendous work and sacrifice, however, of many of those who are on the front lines of this pandemic, I have proclaimed January as Support Our First Responders Month. Masons, of course, understand the concept of taking an obligation in support of others. Our police, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and paramedics all take one of the most sacred and challenging of obligations: to run towards danger, not away from it. We Masons recognize that our communities rely on the bravery, sacrifice, and service of our first responders to shield the rest of us from the perils of an often dangerous world. And for that, we owe them all a debt of gratitude. This month, I encourage our lodges to thank and honor the efforts of these heroes through donations, volunteerism, or some form of lodge recognition. It is important that we recognize and acknowledge these people on whom we all rely. It is also important that society sees our charitable activities and becomes more aware of our active involvement in our communities. This is a priority for me and one of several I have for this year. All of them are for the purpose of advancing our new vision, the world in harmony. Our effort to help the world achieve harmony through Masonic principles by 2050, our bicentennial year. Our 2025 fraternity plan outlines the actions that we will take over the next 5 years to advance that vision. Now, for the true success of our vision, we must achieve 3 goals or pillars during the 5 years of the plan. These goals are true friendship, diversity and harmony, and positive awareness. We want these 3 pillars to become true and universal at our lodge level, for the communities in which our lodges reside, and for the state as a whole. You have heard Worshipful and Goko describe them extremely well, and I appreciate that, Worshipful. And I'll now comment a little bit from my perspective. True friendship is the fundamental attribute that brings Masons together in brotherhood, even when we may have never met. It is a unique characteristic of the fraternity that is hard to define in words. Yet, we must find ways to show the world what it is and what it can mean as we begin to shape the world in harmony. We must reevaluate our approach to diversity and whether we are doing enough to set a standard that society will want to embrace. Are we truly practicing the values we espouse? Are we doing enough to bring people of different cultures and traditions together? There is much within the world of Freemasonry that we can do to bring together diverse groups who share our values and our views. Our doing so can then serve as a model for our communities as they too work to embrace harmony. And we must increase the positive awareness of Masonry in our society. We can set standards of true friendship, provide personal growth for those from all walks of life, and commit ourselves to philanthropy and community service, as this lodge continues to demonstrate. But if the public is unaware of our efforts, then they will never see our good works as an example worthy of emulation. Creating positive awareness of our contributions will require us to take a new approach to spreading the word throughout society of the benefits of Freemasonry. While we at the Grand Lodge level can work out the details of this new approach, it will take a coordinated effort of all of our lodges in California to produce the meaningful impact necessary to allow us to influence the state as a whole towards harmony. I see Beach Cities Lodge playing an important role in this thrust. You also continue to support our fraternity's philanthropic endeavors. You are an active lodge, and as we address the challenges of today, I ask you to draw upon that strong heritage. You are in a good position to help lead Masonry into a new era of influence and impact. The second area in which the help of our lodges is essential is my desire to see us increase Masonic family unity. To set the best possible example of diversity and harmony in the world, we must first integrate all aspects of our Masonic family and reach across existing divides to other Masonic groups that share our principles and our dedication. Improved communication between our various Masonic family bodies, closer relations with independent, coexisting Masonic groups will demonstrate to the outside world, with actions and not just words, our benefit to society. The division-wide, all-Masonic body social events that I've planned in the coming year will further this goal and show ourselves that our similarities are greater than our differences. I expect this lodge to play a role in improving unity in Southern California. So this evening, I challenge you, the officers and brethren of Beach Cities Lodge, to define what part you will play in making our 2025 plan a reality and in promoting Masonic family unity in your area. You have heard Worshipful Ngoko challenge you to revise your strategic plan and align it to the fraternity's plan. Consider how you can bring the bonds of true friendship to an even deeper level with all of your members so that other men of good moral character will want to join you. Find ways to extend the benefits of Masonry to everyone and create an inclusive, harmonious environment. Raise the bar of your lodge's community engagement and philanthropy further and grow the positive awareness of Masonry in your community. Reach out to all the Masonic bodies that meet in this area and discuss how you can come together to advance the principles of Freemasonry. Explore the possibilities of what each of you individually and all of you collectively can do to advance in these areas, and it will carry your lodge farther and higher than you previously imagined. Bravely embrace the next evolution, and you will find that fortune favors the brave. Thank you, Worshipful, and have a great evening.
Worshipful, you're muted.
Worshipful Master, you're muted.
Daniel's not muted.
Worshipful Master, please unmute.
He's not muted.
I think he means you, though, Joseph.
Brother Joseph,
Yes.
please, okay, now you can talk.
Oh, so that didn't come up. Worshipful Daniel, will you kindly proceed with the benediction?
Your hat, Worshipful. Take your hat. Supreme Grand Master, ruler of heaven and earth, now that we are about to separate and return to our respective places of abode, wilt thou be pleased so to influence our heart and minds that we may each one of us practice out of the lodge those great moral duties which are inculcated in it, and with reverence in study and obey the laws which thou hast given in thy holy word. Amen.
Well, that concludes our ceremony for the evening. Thank you all again for attending tonight. We hope to see you again soon.
Well, thank you, Worshipful, and congratulations to you and the officers of Beach